We got the unhinged, the one and only Conor McGregor leading the BKFC 82 pre-fight presser for Jeremy Stephens versus Mike Perry, King of Violence title. And we're getting right into it. The thumbnail says, Mike Perry is cut if he loses to Jeremy Stephens. And that's exactly what McGregor's about to tell him.
We've got our King of Violence world title on the line by the current champion, Michael Perry, the King of Violence, making his return. A man that, paved the way in the sport and rose up and done incredible things. Then he made an error and made it, went a different way. A big mistake in my opinion, but now he's back. People are underwriting him. He's got a big point to prove. And you know what's at stake, Michael? If you don't perform, you're gone. You can go back to those exhibition bouts and those misfits with put on the big gloves. We'll part ways. But I'm confident you'll show up and do your thing.
You're fucking cut, bro. You are fucking cut. And Mike Perry just kind of nods his head subtly here. He doesn't know how to react. He's like, I know I'm just the fighter, but fuck McGregor. He fucking is disrespecting the shit out of me right here. He claps back eventually, but right now he's keeping it calm. He's got a fight coming up. He can't get too hyped on McGregor. Dave Feldman puts his head down shaking.
And I'm excited to see it. And then who are you against? You're against a man, Jeremy Stephens. Who the fuck is that guy? The one and only. The hardest hitting 145 pounder. Listen to that. He is a hard hitting man, for sure. But he's also a 145 pounder. Michael Perry is a 170 pounder. So that can never be overlooked. That is a fearless man, a ferocious man, a man with his back against the wall. And for me in this bout, I'm undecided. I am absolutely undecided on it. This could go either way. But one thing's for certain. This is going to be one hell of a fight. And you know what's at stake again? They're both angling for a fight against the big boss, me. So, for me, who would I wish, who would I prefer? Either or. I hope for a good fight for our fans, and I'm confident of that because no fight in bare-knuckle history has ever been a boring fight. It is impossible for a boring fight in bare-knuckle, and that's what makes this promotion so good. And like I said, win, lose, or draw between Michael Perry and Jeremy Stephens. And who are they going to fight? I'll fight both of them at the same fucking time. I'm the big boss, baby.
Do we think that McGregor will fight the winner? I mean, no doubt he's setting it up. He's setting this shit up right now. Jeremy Stephens already written in the stars. It's been written for almost a decade now with the viral clip, the viral quote that McGregor just quoted himself. With this Mike Perry, you're cut bullshit. All Mike Perry got to do with the win is get in McGregor's face, call his ass out. The promo is there. Promo packages for both men are there. The only thing is, does Conor fight him? Now, we're going to get into some other stuff real quick. We got another thing to touch on in this press conference. Not in this press conference, but Conor's been contradicting himself. He likes to make these statements like he's fighting at the UFC White House. It's a done deal. It's signed. All that bullshit, right? Well, then he's been turning around twice now, I've seen. Twice now where he opens up about his contract situation with the UFC. How many fights he has left. Can he get a fight going? There's the new model, no pay-per-views. Does he have to get a new contract worked out? Can he get it worked out in time for UFC White House? All this stuff. Or he throws out the idea, I'm bringing this up now to you because he's talking about fighting the winner of this, right? Well, if you're under contract with UFC, you can't. He's now on record bringing up the fact of the idea of a potential release from the UFC so he can come and fight in BKFC. He said it. So we're going to get into all that right now, but that's where I just wanted to address real quick because he's talking about, the winner faces me. Number one, he's got to be healthy enough to even get in there. Easier to fight in BKFC than in MMA, I'll tell you that right now. For his age, for his fucking health status, way easier for him on the body. But it's yet to be seen. Can he step in the octagon? Can he step in a ring and put together a full training camp? We don't know yet. We don't know yet. It's the biggest question in the sport right now, probably. And to think Dana White's going to trust him to headline UFC White House, low-key kind of crazy. Low-key kind of crazy.
Does that amp up the pressure a little bit for Saturday night?
I've been well prepared regardless. I've prepared and trained myself. I'm in my best position in life ever, period. And I'm perfecting everything. So the mockery is all fun and games. The fans want to say crazy, dumb shit like they've never fucking stepped in here and done a damn thing ever. So I get in here and I put in the work and I run these shows, I headline these events, and I put on for the people who enjoy watching pure freaking violence, bro, because that's what it is when I step in the ring. I've posted, I've carried this whole shit on my back, and I'm consistent and I'm constant on everything I'm doing, and it's gonna show on Saturday night. I weigh in tomorrow and it's time to fucking eat.
Let's see it, Mike Perry. I believe the words coming out of your mouth, but we just got, we got to see it. You haven't been in BKFC in a minute. We got to see it. Everything you said is true. It's just been a minute since you fought. So let's see it, Mike Perry. Let's see it. You look in good shape. You look dialed in. You got a smaller opponent. Let's see it. Then you versus Dave Mundell. If I'm being real, if I'm just keeping it a buck, I'm skipping ahead a little bit here. If I'm just keeping it a buck, bro, I want to see him against Dave Mundell. I want to see it. Above all else, I want that one. If Mike Perry beats that guy, Dave Mundell, I would be pretty fucking impressed. He already holds wins over him.
How do you figure this fight is going to go on Saturday against Mike Perry?
Well, since it's being Halloween, I think I'm going to carve him up real nice before I knock him out. So, there you go. Face down, ass up, cheeks clapping, playboy.
I love it. Mike Perry, very, very odd. Mike Perry does not want to fight for a world title in BKFC. And, Dave Feldman right down here, he kind of speaks on it during this press conference when he gets asked about it, and he says, Mike Perry could be next for a world title shot against Dave Mundell, a man that he's already knocked out in the early days of his MMA career. But we also have to look at star power, and we want to maybe do some more gimmick fights with Mike Perry in the BKFC along the lines of this Jeremy Stephens one. Because keep in mind, Jeremy Stephens is a 145-pounder. He's coming up with 3 weight classes to fight Mike Perry. This is what we're saying with gimmick fights. Should he do another one like that? I think Dave Feldman is keeping his options open for that. Now, Mike Perry also agrees to some degree, because I don't think he wants to fight Dave Mundell based off everything he's saying. And McGregor emphatically disagrees. He thinks nobody cares about another gimmick fight. He needs to fight Dave Mundell and become a world champion in the organization in order for people to really care about him, in order for him to grow his name in the organization. And McGregor is standing by that. He says, if you beat Jeremy Stephens, your next fight is for a world title. And Mike Perry isn't exactly doing it, but Mike Perry's like low-key. He gives off the vibe of like, why? No, I don't want to do that. And it's crazy that like McGregor's over here trying to tell him your next fight is for a world title, and somehow, some way, that's a power move, that's a diss, for McGregor to do that to Mike Perry. Very interesting.
Dylan from AKP. Mike, I'll start with you. We haven't seen you in over a year, and now you make your return against Jeremy Stephens this Saturday. We've heard some names, maybe Darren Till. Now you land on Jeremy Stephens. Was he always the name at the top of the list, and was he the one that you wanted to return to?
Not really. I didn't really care. I never care who it is. I do want it to be fun for the fans and for the bare knuckle fans who appreciate the intensity of this sport. He's proven. He's 3-0 in bare knuckle. And, we both beat Eddie, and we saw Eddie give me some punches there. So we think the speed of Stephens maybe does something. Well, I'm here to prove that it doesn't and show you guys the best platinum you've seen. Thank you.
And question also for Mike Perry. Do you think that the fight that you have against Jeremy is now the face of BKFC? And do you think that this could set the new standards for what a combat sports can be?
we're above the standard. This is a totally different game, and that's what makes me special in this game. I don't need the belt to tell me I'm the king of violence. Everybody sees that in my demeanor and every day how I carry myself. And, you know, I'm going to smash this little guy, and I'm going to make it look good. No matter which way it is, it's going to be exciting. And, you know, no matter what he doesn't stand a chance. So I appreciate David Feldman for giving me the bag for nothing. Like, I'm just going to walk in there, have a good time, and have a party with the fans at the Prudential Center.
Both guys in the main event are on incredible runs in the company, both undefeated. The winner on Saturday walks out the king of violence and still undefeated. Could we see either one of them, whoever be the winner, fight the world champion of their respective division?
I mean, you know, we'll see.
This is where it gets juicy, so pay attention.
It has to make sense. Everything has to make sense here, right? And I don't know if it makes sense, or does it make sense to bring in, you know, a guy that possibly could be here Saturday night, Darren Till, who wants to fight the winner of this event? Does it make sense to bring in a bigger name so we can get more eyeballs on this sport, right? Does Dave Mundell deserve a shot at a big name? 100% he does. 100% he does. But at the same time, we have to move the needle on BKFC, and we have to do everything we can to move the needle. But I think the time has come, and I think that, you know, I think Dave Mundell does deserve a crack at one of these guys, but he's also, we didn't announce this yet, but he just signed a big fight that he's going to be fighting pretty soon, and he has to get by that winner first.
And after Saturday night in Newark, what do you have to say to that?
Well, I mean, why not, man? Look, I'm sure I'm going to have bigger and better things to do after victory on Saturday night.
Obviously, he was just asked about Dylan Dennis.
I'm sure there's plenty of big opportunities. You know, like the question that Feldman got is, would one of us get a shot at the world championship? And he said, we got to move the needle.
You got to fucking fight for that world title, Mike. You've never been a world champion here, so you're in here saying you're this and you're that. You're no world champion. So without a world title...
I hear you. This is too good. He's totally sunning him here. McGregor wins this exchange fucking 10-8.
Here in this promotion. I only start speaking as I spoke when I secured 2 UFC world titles. You know, we made
I
this
beat that world champion twice. I knocked him out twice in a different sport. So look, I'm gonna beat Jeremy's ass on Saturday. Whatever
your next fight is for a world title.
If the big money fight ends up being fighting Dylan Dennis in MMA, or how about me and Conor at the White House? You need to fight an American who can win.
Conor's like, sounds good, bro. Cool fucking story. Your next fight is for a world title. Mike Perry is like a rat in a box, fucking scrambling around. Although I will give him credit. He said, if I win this fight, whoever they offer me on that next one, I accept. So it's gonna be Dave Mundell if you win, Mike. Just know that.
Exactly. That's what I thought. I'm the only one here fighting. I'm the only one doing it.
Is this on? Hello.
I train every day.
Next fight, Mike. If you win, by the way, Jeremy has some good shots, and your stances and movements and reactions, I see paths for Jeremy, a real path for Jeremy. However, your next fight, if you get through this, has got to be for a world title. You should be climbing for a world title here in this organization. Not trying to piggyback around and do this bullshit. No one cares.
World title.
No one cares about this other bullshit.
Who cares about that bum that I knocked out twice? Obviously nobody.
Listen,
he's nobody.
He's the middleweight world champion, and you're a fucking. You're just. We made you.
I'll beat him again. I've already said.
Who made you can break you. Who made you can break you. Who built you can kill you. You're fighting for the world title. If you get through this, that's how straight. Otherwise, you're fucking nothing. And if you don't perform,
we'll
you're
see
gone.
how that goes.
If you don't perform, you can go and do all these Mickey Mouse fights that no one gives a fuck about. That'll generate nothing, and we won't give a fuck here at Bare Knuckle.
They did. BKFC, we gotta keep it real. You know, Mike Perry went out, he won the fights. He won the fights. Some tough fights. You know, Luke Rockhold, MVP. They were tough fights. No disrespect to Mike Perry. But one of the things is it's getting to a point where the BKFC, you got to become a champion at some point. I believe that Conor is right when he's saying, like, you know, we built you. Who made you can break you. Unless you have a world title. You know what I'm saying? Then we can't really break you. You're the world champion. Keep winning your fights. You're just fighting the next man up. But unfortunately, when we're giving you these preferential fights, in a way, although I don't call MVP or Luke Rockhold preferential or Eddie Alvarez preferential. Okay, these are tough fights. They're great fights. But they're going out finding and seeking these opponents. They don't got to do that for him. You know, they're doing that because of good business. But they don't have to. And McGregor's saying, we're not doing that anymore. You win against Jeremy. Say goodbye to these fights. You know, say goodbye to them. Fight the champions in your weight class. It's been too long. You haven't fought anybody really active in BKFC in the first place. You're not going to have to do that. Right? You're not going to have to do that. Well, Jeremy's active in BKFC. And I think Eddie did have a fight in BKFC. But the point is, you got to spread it around. You got to spread around the star power. You can't just keep hogging it up as the King of Violence champ. It's not even a real belt. Conor has a point, but Mike is a significant more of a draw than the other guys. Unfortunately, that is true because, you know, if Mike loses to Dave Mundell, which I think would be a possibility, then you lose that aura. You lose that aura for Mike Perry. And Mike Perry is the biggest star in the promotion. Right? He is the face of BKFC. So you do have that. You do have that. And will Dave Mundell become this massive star because he knocked out Mike Perry and all of a sudden everybody wants to listen to him? Spoiler alert, no. No, that is not what happens. So, interesting because Dave Feldman, you know, wants to keep slow rolling Mike Perry. Conor wants to fast track it. Would BKFC be as exciting if it wasn't for these press conferences right now? We keep getting these, you know? You might got to do Mike Perry versus McGregor after this. But McGregor's tied up with a contract, so we're going to get into all that.
All right, last question. Go ahead.
My name is Robert Cardillo from the Hurt Handbook, and I just have a question for Conor McGregor. Obviously, we see a lot of tension between you and Mike Perry, but at the same time, I think we see a lot of respect at the same time. So I just want to know, what's your relationship like with Mike Perry, and how do you truly view him as a fighter?
You know, I like Mike. It's hard not to like Mike, a good family man, and he's gone through his troubles, and he shows up to fight. I just think world title honors is what it's about. You've never been a world champion. You have a chance here.
You're downplaying everything. The mockery. You haven't fought here. Why don't you come get
I own this fucking thing. What are you talking about? I'm the owner. I book the matches. You need to climb for a world title. Otherwise, you're here today, gone tomorrow. A fart in... Michael Perry, a fart in the wind. That'll be fucking you if you don't climb for a fucking world title.
It's more than any fight you're doing. You ain't fighting nobody.
Yeah, I'm coming back in the White House. You're trying to clamor for it and switch roles. You're fighting for that world title if you get through this weekend.
They're going to treat you
it.
like Frankie Edgar.
The redneck Mundell. The big boss is going to make it happen, baby.
Let's go. Shout out Dave Mundell. Deal with it. Hey, so Drew, are you saying though, like, because think about it, right? Mike Perry goes out, he beats Dave Mundell like he's already done twice, knocked his ass out. You go out and knock him out in BKFC, you become the champ. You got the King of Violence fucking strap on the other shoulder. Bro, I mean, that makes him twice, 3 times as big of a star. The next press conference, the aura coming off Mike Perry is crazy. It's insane. We go back to the gimmick fights, right? Sign some fucking hot name off the streets, former UFC fighter like they've been doing, and it's off to the races again for Mike Perry. You got to take one tough fight against Dave Mundell. Do we think Mike Perry beats Dave Mundell? He's already beat him twice. Or is Dave Mundell, you know, upped his game to the point where Mike Perry's a little bit scared? Not scared. We're not going to use that word scared ever. But, you know, not wanting to risk it. Finding it too big of a risk. Too close to a 50-50 fight. They got to keep these pressers coming. It's unhinged, and it's what I wish the UFC press conferences were still like 100%, bro. 100%. They got to keep these coming. I don't know. I'm also leaning towards like, let's believe in Mike Perry. You know, nothing sells more than a true 50-50 fight, a fight where we don't know what's going to happen, right? You don't got to do it every time, but every now and then you got to do that. You know, Mayweather did that every now and then. He'd run it with Canelo. He'd run it with Pacquiao.